Vancouver City Council meeting of Tuesday, December 10th. This meeting is being convened by electronic means under the Ministerial Order M192. So we're all participating by phone. Please note if my connection is lost during any portion of this meeting, we'll recess until my connection is restored. And the same holds for councillors during the voting process. Video of council members speaking, presentations, and vote results will be projected to viewers when available. Council is also reminded that we need to ensure there is quorum during the meeting, so please make sure your video is enabled. Of course, as always, we acknowledge we're on the unceded traditional territories of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people, and we thank them for their generosity to all who live on their lands. And a real shout out to the City of Vancouver staff who are working so hard across all departments to make this such a great city in which to live, work, and play. Can we have the roll call, please, Clerk?
Mayor Stewart is in the chair. Councillor Carr.
Here.
Councillor DeGenova. Councillor DeGenova. Councillor Fry.
Here.
Councillor Swanson.
Here.
Councillor Hardwick.
Present.
Councillor Weeb. Councillor
Present.
Weeb. Great, thanks. Councillor Boyle.
Present.
Councillor Dominato. Councillor Dominato. Councillor Bly.
Present.
Councillor Kirby-Young. You have quorum, Mayor Stewart.
Thanks so much. So the public is strongly urged to listen to the proceedings via the City Clerk's website or the YouTube link, or follow along on Twitter at VanCityClerk is the handle. Any comments on agenda items can be sent to council using the web form on the website, and that is at VanCityClerk. So today we have in this reconvening meeting, we have 18 bylaws, 3 members' motions, notice of council member motions, new business inquiries, and other matters. So I'm going to jump right into bylaws. We have 20 on the agenda. However, bylaws 1 and 2 were withdrawn from the agenda and will come forward in January for consideration by council. Council members who were not present for the meetings related to the public hearing enactment bylaws must confirm that they have reviewed the proceedings of the meetings if they wish to vote on the enactment. Bylaw 19 is from the public hearing of January 15th and 17th, 2019. Is Councillor Dominato present?
Yes, she is.
Okay, Councillor Dominato, have you reviewed the proceedings you missed, and will you be voting on the enactment?
I have not and I will not.
Thanks. Bylaw 20 is from the public hearing of July 9th, 10th, and 14th. Councillor Kirby-Young, have you reviewed the proceedings you missed, and will you be voting on the enactment?
I have reviewed them and yes, I will be voting.
Thank you. Does any member wish to hold any of the bylaws for debate, separate vote, or conflict of interest?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Councillor Hardwick, which...
I see Councillor Swanson's before me on the queue.
Oh, sure. I'm not looking at the queue. I'm just having tech assistance here. So go ahead, Councillor Swanson.
I want to hold 18, 19, and 20 just so I can make my vote consistent.
18, 19, and 20 for votes. Councillor Hardwick?
Same.
Okay, so we'll have separate votes on 18, 19, and 20. Great, thanks very much. So would someone like to move a motion to adopt bylaws 3 to 17?
So moved. Councillor DeGenova. Second, Councillor Carr.
Thank you so much. So I'm just going to move us. So I am getting a tech assist here, but perhaps that could stop while I do the cues. Thanks. I'm just going to take this back. So does anybody want to debate any of these? Any discussion? Just put yourself on the queue. I don't see anybody on the queue, so all those in favor say yay.
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 Opposed say nay. Okay, thanks. So that's passed unanimously. Clerks, do we have to vote on the 18, 19, 20 separately? On screen, I think.
We would have to vote it on screen. We could take one vote if council wish to do that.
I guess I'd ask the councillors that held these, are you okay doing these all in one vote, or would you like them all separately?
Separate, please.
Okay, so we'll go to the voting queue, and clerks will call a vote on bylaw number 18.
Point of privilege, I need a vote assist. Councillor
Okay,
Carr.
Councillor Carr,
In favor?
thank you.
Swanson, vote assist, abstain.
Abstain. Okay,
Mayor
Councillor
Stewart,
DeGenova, vote assist.
Mayor
Just one-
Stewart, before we go
one
there,
second. Yes,
we need a mover and a seconder, please.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
so moved. Councillor DeGenova.
A seconder?
Second, Councillor Carr.
Thank you, Councillor Carr. Okay. Councillor, I'm sorry, I didn't catch all the vote assists. Councillor Dejanova, did you say you needed one as well?
Yes, I think we're all having some technical difficulties this morning. So yes, please, Mr. Mayor, in favor.
And
Okay, thanks.
Councillor Dominato, I'll take a vote assist in favor, please.
Okay, thanks. Councillor Swanson,
Abstain.
abstain. Councillor Hardwick, and I'm just me left. Okay, Council, so that has passed with none in opposition. Clerks can have pulled that up on the screen. And then once the clerks are ready, we'll call a vote on bylaw number 19. Okay, so I'll just, Councillor Carr, you needed a vote assist on
I
this
do
one?
in favor. Thank you.
Councillor Dejanova, you needed a vote assist?
Mr. Mayor, I did, but now my panel is working.
Okay, great.
Thanks to IT. So yes.
Councillor Dominato?
Yes, I'll take a vote assist in favor. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Councillor Kirby-Young, you need a vote on this one? Great, so that has passed with Councillor Swanson and Hardwick in opposition. And once the clerks are ready, we'll trigger a vote for bylaw number 20.
Yeah, Councillor Carr, vote assist in favor.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Dominato, vote assist in favor, please.
Thank you. Councillor Kirby-Young. Great, so that has passed council with Councillors Bly, Hardwick, and Swanson in opposition. Thanks so much. So that this list of approved bylaws can be found on the city's website. So council, we're moving to members' motions now. We have 3 council members' motions as motion B4 was withdrawn and will be coming to council at the January 19th meeting. And council members will have 2 minutes to introduce their motion and 1 minute each to ask clarifying questions. Motion 1, though, is a request for a leave of absence. Councillor Boyle, for personal reasons, meetings on December 2nd from 2:30 to 4:30, December 5th from 10:30 to noon. Somebody like to move this, please?
So moved, Councillor DeGenova.
Thank you. Seconder?
Councillor Bly?
Right, yeas and nays. All in favor, yay.
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 Opposed, nay. Great, thanks. That has passed. Okay, so motion 2 is ensuring that people with health and mobility issues have protection and support when elevators break down, which is moved by Councillor Swanson and seconded by Councillor Boyle. Councillor Swanson, you've got the floor for up to 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is co-submitted with Councillor Boyle. It came from the Seniors Advisory Committee that we're both liaison for. And yeah, there's a lot of problems with seniors and people with disabilities being able to get out of their rooms or apartments when elevators break down. And it's evidently quite difficult. The seniors did a lot of research on this. It's evidently quite difficult to get elevators fixed sometimes. Takes a long time. And so this is just something to try and get staff to work on so we can have a plan in each building if the elevators break down to make sure that people who can't negotiate stairs are supported and protected.
Okay, thanks so much. I have Councillor Hardwick on the queue. Do you have a question, Councillor Hardwick?
That's a holdover, but I do have a question.
Great, okay, up to a minute.
Do we know what authorities govern elevators? Is this something that is done by the city, by the provincial government? I'm not familiar. Could you tell
A
me?
lot of it is provincial, but what I'm hoping is that staff can do a little research and figure out if there's something that we can do. I've actually been in a lot of SRO hotels with broken elevators, taking food to people on the top floors and stuff, and it can be quite devastating for people who can have to be holed up for weeks sometimes because they can't. Sometimes they can make it down the stairs, but they can't make it up the stairs, and sometimes they can't even make it down.
Councillor Harvick?
Well, thank you. I'm interested in learning more about it. I remain concerned about overreach by the city, but understand the importance of the issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's it for questions. Oh, Councillor Boyle, go ahead, up to a minute.
Yes, this is going to sound like a softball, but I wonder, Councillor Swanson, if folks are interested in learning more, if there's a report that a member of the Seniors Advisory Committee put together that might be a useful resource that you could share? Question mark.
Yeah, I have sent it around to councillors. Actually, the senior committee did great research on this and prepared a report. And I did send it around, but if you have lost it or something, I can try and do it again.
That would be great. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Thanks. I don't see anybody else in the queue, so we have received requests to speak on this motion. If council would like to hear speakers, we can refer the motion to the standing committee on Wednesday, January 20th, starting at 9:30. Thank you very much. Have a seconder?
Second.
Okay, I think I heard Councillor Fry first. All those in favor say yay.
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 Opposed say nay. Great. So that's motions referred to the standing committee January 20th. Motion number 3 is Councillor Dominato's motion about improving street lighting in Vancouver.
Second, Councillor Carrillo.
Okay, thanks very much. But we do have questions first, and up to 2 minutes to speak, Councillor Dominato, if you'd like.
Thanks, Mayor, and happy to introduce this motion. This motion, I'm bringing this on behalf of the 2S LGBTQ plus advisory committee. It was generated there through discussion with committee members where their concern lies around adequate lighting within the city. And it really is from a public safety lens that's it's being brought forward. And so you'll see within the resolutions a desire to get more information about how we handle reporting and replacement of lighting. I do know that we have the LED lighting initiative coming underway, and that was part of the budget that was approved. However, the committee felt very strongly about the critical importance of lighting in certain areas of the city to support people's comfort and safety, and just how we handle service requests to have those lights replaced if they do notice an outage. Even just education around how to do that, because in many cases it may not be clear to residents how they can report these things. And I do know that one of the members of the committee was planning to speak. I don't know if they're still signed up, Eddie Elmer. But I am bringing it forward on behalf of that committee, and I think it's a core service in terms of our city services, and I also am very happy to support anything that will enable people to feel safe in our city.
Thanks very much. You do have a question from Councillor Harvick. Up to a minute, Councillor Harvick.
Yes, thank you very much. What's the price tag attached to this, please?
Councillor Hardwick, there is no estimated cost around this work. A lot of it is about seeking information, looking at our systems, including how we do handle Van Connect 311. But the committee wasn't looking at cost estimates.
So I know that there is some lighting in the city's capital financing fund. I think it's an additional 9 million with a 12 million overall. So this is not in addition to that.
I would not say that it's in addition. Again, the committee wasn't focused on looking at the costing. It was around addressing persistent concerns about lights being replaced rapidly, and that there being areas that are underlit, that those be addressed, and also looking at how we report, how we respond to reports, how the public can make those reports. And so there wasn't a discussion around costing.
I hope there might be in
Thanks.
the report. Thank you.
Councillor Fry, up to a minute.
Thanks. I was very supportive a number of years ago. Then Councillor Elizabeth Ball's motion for dark skies and how we could mitigate light pollution in our urban setting and allow folks that access. Does this motion or does that work from the subcommittee contemplate dark skies?
You know what, that didn't come up as part of the discussions, but I do think it certainly could be considered, and I'm familiar with the councillor's work in her motion, but that wasn't part of the main part of the discussion.
Okay, well, I'm sure we'll have that discussion later then. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Councillor Dejanova, up to a minute.
Thanks so much, Councillor Dominato, for bringing this forward. I'm just wondering, in differentiating between light pollution and when we think of some of the lighting projects that, although shine in our city, like when we think about BC Place and others, those are considerations for dark sky. Is this about better improved street lighting specifically to make sure that there's safety on our roads, but also our sidewalks? Is that the idea of this motion?
Yes, thanks for that question, Councillor Dejanova. It certainly is about appropriate lighting in our streets, our sidewalks, our alleys, in the context with a safety lens on it.
So just very quickly, this would be then in line with the dark sky motion because it would be addressing an entirely different issue. Just
yes.
Yes or no? Thanks.
Great,
Thank
thanks.
you so much.
That's the minute. Okay, I don't see anybody else on the queue. There are requests to speak to this, so sorry, we do need a seconder for this first, I think, Councillor Kirby.
Oh, sorry.
I believe it was seconded, Mr. Mayor.
You can't second it until we do the question, so that's why I'm asking again.
Also
So now,
seconded.
Move
it's second.
referral to committee for
Great.
speakers.
Yes, great. And January 20th, we have a seconder for that.
Second.
Why?
I think I heard Councillor Kirby Young. All those in favor say yay. Just
Yay.
Yay.
anybody? Thanks.
Yay.
Okay. Opposed say nay. Great. So that's referred to standing committee tomorrow. Council, we have notice of motions now. So if you want to put yourself on the queue, and just remember they have to be sent to the clerk in writing. Councillor Dejanova, just the.
Mayor, I have just a point of privilege, I guess.
Yes.
Just hoping to clarify, you just said we sent that last motion to standing committee tomorrow?
No. Did I say tomorrow? I'm sorry. It should be January 20th.
Great. Just wanting to make sure that's clear.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep, I want to make that clear too. So that's good. Thank you very much. Okay, so Councillor Dejanova, whenever you're ready, just the title of the motion.
Mr. Mayor, I had withdrawn it, knowing we had a budget on the agenda, hoping we'd get through it all this week. But the motion is turning the key, encouraging affordable home ownership in the city of Vancouver, and just wanted to make sure if it was not moved specifically, that I was calling notice again today, just to make sure that it would be on the agenda. The other motion is, but had withdrawn before and had not gone as far as with the other motion. So just wanted to note that as submitting it. But now, after the budget's an appropriate time, and it's childcare that works, extended hour and around the clock childcare for working families in Vancouver. And I'm sending those titles into the clerk right now.
Thanks very much. Councillor Kirby Young.
Yeah, thank you. I'm submitting one notice of motion entitled Daylighting Permitting Times.
Thanks. Councillor Swanson.
Two motions. One is protecting tenants from real estate investment trusts, and another one submitted with Councillor Boyle endorsing the Canada Pharmacare Act Bill 213.
Thank you. Councillor Boyle.
Thanks. I have a motion entitled Implementing the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People in the City of Vancouver.
Okay. Thanks so much. That's all I have on the queue, Council. So I'm going.
Councillor Stewart, I actually have one as well.
Okay, Councillor Weep.
Okay.
Okay.
Mine's Vancouver's first public safety strategy.
Okay. Thanks so much. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to move on to new business inquiries and other matters. You can put yourselves on the queue for this, but I'm also, first I'm going to go through retroactive leaves of absence. So the first one is for Councillor Bly, civic business meetings December 4th from 9:30 to 11:30, a retroactive leave, and December 16th from 9:30 to 11:30. Can I have somebody
So
move
moved.
this?
Councillor DeGenova.
Thank you. Seconder? Anybody?
Councillor Carr.
Thank you. All those in favor say yay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard a voice there.
A quick point of procedure, Mayor, is just
Yes.
December 16th is next week,
Yes.
and it's not anticipated, I think, that we'll be meeting next Wednesday. So I'm just wanting to make sure whether or not that's necessary. That was in
Who
case
knows with this year?
Okay.
You can just leave it there if you like.
Sure thing.
Okay. Right. Any nays? Okay, thanks so much. That's passed. Next one is a retroactive leave for myself. Civic business meetings, December 2nd from 9:30 to 1:30, and December 3rd from 9:30 till 3. I have a mover for this. Thank you, Councillor DeGenova. Seconder?
Councillor Bly?
Councillor Bly, thanks. All in favor, yay.
Yay.
Opposed, nay. Okay, that's passed. This last one is request leave absence, Councillor Dominato. For personal reasons, December 3rd from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Could I have a mover?
So moved. Councillor DeGenova.
Thank you. Seconder? Thank you. All in favor say yay.
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 Opposed say nay. Okay, so that has passed. All right, so I'll go to the list. Now, Councillor Bly.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm actually on the list to move a reconsideration vote from our budget discussion on, I think, whatever day that was, Tuesday. And it's actually, we had a reconsideration vote in that meeting for recommendation EB.
EB.
Notice.
Okay. I don't know what to do now. I've got some notice.
Yep. Can you just finish your statement there, and then we can.
So my hope is that I voted one way when we had the vote first, and when it was reconsidered, what I heard and what I thought I saw on the screen was that the highlighted section was A, and that's what we were voting on. So I voted in favor, which was consistent with the previous vote. However, we were voting on E and EB, and I voted in the affirmative, and which was inconsistent with the previous vote. I had intended to vote contrary-minded to that recommendation. So I'm hoping we can reconsider.
Okay, so just so I can remember, there was the clause E in the charter, which was divided, and there was EA and there was EB.
Mm-hmm.
And EA, there were two councillors that recused themselves due to conflict, but EB is the one that everybody could vote on.
That's correct.
Okay, and so you would like a reconsideration of E, and the large paragraph E is connected to the sub paragraph of EB.
That's correct. Point of privilege,
Right.
Swanson.
Yes, go ahead, Councillor Swanson.
Could we have this on the screen?
We might be able to. Clerks are pulling it up now.
And
we will. You will not. Yeah, 1 second, please. Clerks, if you could just highlight the section that we'd be. The first vote would be to reconsider our vote, which I believe has to be unanimous, and then if we get past that, we would get onto the vote. Go ahead, Councillor DeGenova.
Mayor, I checked with the clerk. I understand it needs to be by majority.
Okay, I'll just double check with that. Okay, yep, by majority. Thanks. Councillor DeGenova?
I'm just wondering, Mr. Mayor, I did not come prepared with my materials this meeting as it was not on the agenda to reconsider. And if we reconsider something, it opens it up again for debate and discussion. So I was hoping, and it was for those reasons that I did not know this and received the email as I can see at 9:32 a.m., but just saw it from Councillor Bly. I'm wondering, as was the case with reconsideration for C2 that I believe I had called for, and drinking in public spaces, which I believe Councillor Dominato had called for, can notice be called on this motion?
Cannot.
Just simply because Oh, okay. So why was it able to be called on those motions? Is it just for no reconsideration anymore that we call notice?
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
I can
It's
try to get
changed?
only for
I'm
members,
sorry, just trying to understand.
only for members' motions. This is a staff
Okay.
report.
And the one on C2 was a staff report as well.
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
remember why that one
Oh,
went the
okay.
way it did.
Sorry, just trying to understand the
Okay,
process.
so
Then you know
right.
what, Mr. Mayor, if I suppose I don't have the materials in front of me, I would ask for like a 2-minute recess, 5-minute recess, hoping that the clerk could maybe send us the minuted portion of that meeting. Because
Yeah,
as you're aware, I want to make sure I do my due diligence, so we're not asking for another reconsideration. And just wanted to describe my intent here. Thank you.
okay, so we have a motion for a 5-minute recess. Do we have a seconder for that?
Second.
Second.
Okay.
And just point of procedure.
Yes.
Counselor Carr?
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, can we get through this vote first, then I'll come to your procedure?
Well, the only thing is it relates to this vote. Well, I guess it's a point of privilege.
Okay, you can
Point
do
of
that.
privilege, and I cannot vote on this in good conscience until I know what the vote was on originally.
Okay.
What was I can't.
Okay, so I'll try to get
Point
the
of-
clerks to
point of
send around.
privilege.
I'll try to get the clerks to send around that information. Councillor Dejanova.
That was entirely my intent. If I hadn't made it clear, I was asking for the materials to be sent around, Councillor Carr. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. All right, so I'll just call a vote on the 5-minute recess. All in favor, say yay.
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 Opposed, nay. Great. So we're in recess for 5 minutes. Clerks will pull the section of the budget that we're been asked to reconsider up on screen, and as well as the votes will come to you as well. Okay. Thanks so much, and I'll work with that with the clerks.
Mr. Mayor? Councillor DeGenova?
Second.
Yes. Thank you, Councillor Dominato. Councillor DeGenova?
We just received this at 10:03 a.m. So it's it's fine, or 10:01 a.m. So I'm just letting you know that I'm just taking a moment to read through it here. Um, so I just want to be very clear about what we're reconsidering. If you could walk us through that in the vote to make sure. Thank you.
One second, Council. Okay, Council, I've moved this to a main queue that now that this motion to reconsider has been moved and seconded, because there is an ability to debate it but not amend it. So if anybody would like to say anything about this before I call the vote, please go ahead, Councillor DeGenova.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I did want to note that I had called right away and appreciated the reconsideration, as it had shown up in error. I had not voted in error somehow with the technical difficulties I was experiencing, which I think we've learned was due to the fact that my computer was turned off in chambers. I just found out about that yesterday. I'm assuming that was the same error as yesterday with some of the technical issues we had on the budget vote, but just wanted to note that I I am eligible to vote on EB as I mentioned, and I will be voting the same way that I did, and I will not be changing my vote.
Okay, thanks. So I don't see anybody else on the queue here.
Mr. Mayor, Councillor Kirby-Young, I am.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm looking at just trying to pull up my
It came in an email,
voting queue.
Mr.
There we
Mayor,
go.
at 10:01 a.m. If
Thanks,
that's helpful.
Councillor Kirby-Young. Go ahead, up to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was stated in the previous minutes, but just for safety's sake and consideration, I will advise that I will be voting on this clause pursuant to advice from City Legal that I am free to do so with respect to the declared conflict that
Sure.
I exercised on the other clauses. So my understanding from legal is that I am able to vote on EB, which is the vote on the floor at the moment. So I just want to be clear on that.
Yep. Okay. So just to be clear, at this vote, what we're doing on at the moment is to authorize the reconsideration. So if you're in favor of voting for the reconsideration, vote yes. If you don't want to reconsider this, vote no. And I'll ask the clerks to trigger the vote.
Mr. Mayor, can we see the exact motion that's up on screen for reconsideration? No, but the motion of reconsideration moved and was it seconded?
Yes, that's why I've called the vote, and
Okay,
it's on
thank you.
screen.
Mr. Mayor, we're voting to reconsider. Is that?
Yes, so there will be two motions. The first is whether or not we reconsider the vote. That's the first choice. And then the second one is the actual thing we're reconsidering, which is large paragraph E with the subparagraph B that's highlighted on the screen. So first vote is reconsider.
I need a vote assist, Mr. Mayor. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
In favor.
Okay, thanks.
I need a vote assist as well in favor.
Okay, thanks. Councillor Kirby-Young. Great. So that has passed with Councillor Swanson in opposition. Now, Council, we're going to reconsider the vote. We have decided to reconsider. Now we're going to vote on the motion as it's been opened up, and I'll ask the clerks to pull that up on the screen again. Just let me finish, Councillor DeGenova. So what we're voting on is the parts in purple. If you're in favor of the parts in purple, you vote yes. If you're opposed to the parts in purple, you vote no.
Vote assist.
Okay.
Yeah, this Councillor Carr vote yes. I mean, in favor.
Okay, thank you.
Just in favor as well.
Thank you.
Point of parliamentary procedure, Mr. Mayor.
We're in the middle of a vote. You can do it afterwards.
Sorry, it's a point of privilege. It is. It's about my voting. I
Yes,
just
go ahead.
want to make sure because I can't see it highlighted. My
Go
screen
ahead.
is frozen, Mr. Mayor. We're voting on E and EB, and this is the vote where I had voted in opposition along with Councillor Dominato, Hardwick, and Kirby Young. Is that correct? Just want to make sure.
I mean, I don't want to influence your vote, Councillor
No,
Dejanova,
I'm
so
just trying to make sure I know what I'm voting on, Mr. Mayor, considering I can't
yes,
see it on screen.
it's on screen that you're
I
voting
cannot
on.
see the screen. That's my issue. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted
Okay.
you to clarify that. Thank you for confirming.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Council, so that motion has passed with Councillor Kirby Young, Bly, Dominato, Hardwick, and Dejanova in opposition. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the main queue. Councillor Bly, did you have any other new business?
No, and then just say thank you to Council for indulging that reconsideration. I very much appreciate it.
No problem. Councillor Carr.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just would like to start by asking a question, and I just am looking for confirmation whether or not this is the last public meeting of council that that our city manager, Sadhu Johnson, is attending. Is that correct?
It is correct, and I was going to bring that up at the end, but if you'd like to say nice things about the city manager now, please go ahead.
I would like to do that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
So I just really want to state this publicly that Mr. City Manager Sadhu, I have been so incredibly appreciative of your leadership on some of the key issues that I know are so critical to me as a councillor, and I believe so critical to this city. Sorry if I get a little teary, but you have taken leadership on, excuse me, on the climate file, and I know really encouraged and supported staff and council to consider how important the work is for the city to be a leader in terms of reducing our GHGs and really taking seriously the science that says this emergency is one that we cannot ignore at the peril of our children and their children. Being a new grandmother for the second time now, this is very dear to my heart. But more importantly, it's very dear to the oath that I took as a counselor to think about the well-being of everyone within the city, as well as the future generations who will live in this city. I also am so appreciative of your work on the reconciliation efforts that we as a city have undertaken as a leader in terms of being the first city to be a city of reconciliation. And that work is so important in terms of justice within our society. So for me, those two files in particular have been ones that I cannot express in words, are so meaningful to me, and I believe the people of this city, and certainly will be, historically looking back to those in the future who look at the moves that we have made to make this city a better place for all. So thank you. I will miss you. Have appreciated your support and the hard work and long hours you have put in to make the city a better place.
Thank you, Councillor Carr. Councillor Boyle.
Thanks. Councillor Carr said that so well. I won't try to repeat everything except also to recognize the huge legacy that our city manager leaves and the impacts that it will continue to have long after you spend all your days and evenings in these meetings, and that your impact will continue to be felt, and also want to recognize the sacrifice that your family has made alongside you in your dedication to this work. And I am sure they are looking forward to having you back more often. So thank you for your time. Mayor, I also just wanted to recognize that tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, and it is a year when many people will be celebrating in a in a quieter way at home or maybe on Zoom with other members of their family like we will. So just want to wish a happy Hanukkah to all of the folks across Vancouver who are celebrating with fewer people physically around them, but connected in a big way to the importance of that holiday and the reminder of light and miracles this particular year.
Thank you, Councillor Boyle. If I can take just a few minutes, Council, just also wanted to thank Sada Johnston, City Manager, so much for all the work here at the city. This is the last time, Mr. Johnston, that you'll be in the public view, and helping us along with all the work we do here. I have to say, as a rookie mayor, I did very much appreciate your professional guidance all the way through this process so far. We've made it through our third budget, believe it or not, and COVID, and all the other matters that are addressing the city. And I really think you gave it your all and have led a fantastic staff team. So we're very sad to see you go, but we know wherever you'll land, Vancouver will always be in your heart, and we expect that our paths will cross at some point in the future. So again, thank you so much for everything you've done for us and all you'll do for us in the future. Thanks again, Council. So that's it for the queue.
Can I jump on actually for one word before Sadhu jumps on?
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Weeb.
As usual, I jump in right in front of Sadhu. Really, Sadhu, it's been an absolute pleasure, from Sparkle parties to city studios to bird advisory. It's amazing how deep and how frontline your reach has become in the city. So there's so many people from every level of the organization that know that you help them make their lives better and you sacrifice yourself for them. So really appreciate that work, and it's amazing the breadth that you've done to make this a better city moving forward. So really appreciate your work, Sadhu.
Thanks. And Mr. Johnston, I heard your voice there. Did you want to address council?
Oh, I can't leave without at least a goodbye. So I just want to say thanks for those kind words. It's very strange to be leaving in the era of COVID and no goodbye parties and no chance to see each other face to face. So I'm really sad for that, to be honest. You know, we've had a lot of good times together and we've done a lot of great work together. So for 11 years, my whole life has been structured around the council cycle, vacations and trips back home and, the various other things. So it's a very strange experience to have this one be the very last one. And I'm going through lots of emotions about that. And, but I do want to say, thank you so much to all of you. In particular, thanks for putting up with my bad jokes at inopportune times. Trying to bring a sense of lightness to the chambers at times, and usually they'd fall flat, but at least you knew I was trying. So I just really thank you for that. It's been great working with all of you. And it's been a very, very strange year. COVID really threw a twist in everything. And I know my letting you know of my departure made the year even more peculiar for you. And so you've really supported me in that, despite the inconvenience that my departure may have created for you. And so I just thank you for your understanding and your support. Over the last 11 years here, I feel like we've accomplished so much, and I'm really, really proud of what we've been able to do. And I've just been honored to serve this organization. It's been amazing. So I do also want to acknowledge and thank the city leadership team. You're in great hands. You've got a lot of great, dedicated, committed, passionate, smart leaders that will continue to shepherd this organization under your leadership, and your guidance. So thanks for letting me have a closing word there. It's been great working with all of you. You've got, I hope, many years ahead of you as councillors, and will continue to do great work. So thanks so much.
Thank you, City Manager, Mr. Johnston. And with that, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Councillor Carr.
Thank you. Second.
Boyle.
All in favor, say yay.
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 Opposed, say nay.
Yay.
Great. We're adjourned. Thanks very much, Council. We will see you at the in-camera meeting at 1 o'clock, and then again for the public hearing tonight at 6. So thanks very much, everybody. We'll see you shortly. Thanks, clerks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, clerk.
everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks, Adu.
thanks, Mr.
Thanks,
Yep.
everyone.